Good morning, everyone. Welcome to class. It's 9:35, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today we're going to be looking at a basic skill every programmer needs to know, and it's called encryption. I'm going to walk you through a simple encryption program and give you the details on how it works and why it's useful. So before I begin, does anyone have any question today regarding anything? All right, that's okay. Your guys' next assignment is going to be due at the end of this week. If you can get it turned in early, that's okay. All right. So to start off today's lecture, there's 9 import statements you have to use encryption. They're listed here. We'll go over them as we work through the program. So I'm going to start off with public class encryption demo. And I'm going to say public static void main. This is my main method. String args, what we usually have. And then all I'm going to put here is a random string I want to encrypt. So string message to encrypt, that's what I'll call it. And I'll put welcome to class. Have a great day. That's what I should say. And then I'm going to encrypt it. So I'm going to do string encrypted is equal to encrypt. That's the method we're going to call. And then to print it, all I'm going to do is do system.out.println encrypted. And then I'll print the encrypted message. So the way we construct this method is public because we want it to be available outside the class. A static method because we don't want to create an object. And string because it is going to return something. It's going to return the ciphered text. So string, and then I'm going to call it encrypt, I mean. And it's going to accept an argument or parameter, a string, and we're going to call it message to encrypt. There we go. And then we can construct the actual body of the method. So to do that, we first start with the 16 element byte array. So I'm going to create a byte array. I'm going to call it IV. I put IV spec, but put IV. And then I'm going to have new byte. And then actually, I want to define this differently. I'm going to give curly brackets and then put 16 zeros. So if I count, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's all we need. And now I'm going to use a class called IV parameter spec. Call it IV spec. And basically what this does is it basically allocates the space that's going to be used to do the ciphering. Then after this, I'm going to create an object, and it's another class we're going to be using. It's called the secret key factory. This is used to generate the secret key that's used for ciphering later on. So secret key factory is equal to new. And then all you want to put is, instead of putting new, put secret key factory dot get instance. What get instance does is we pass a seed to it, random seed, and that's just an algorithm. It's a seed used to build the algorithm that is the secret key. So that can be anything. And then after that, we use key factory. Excuse me one moment. trying to read this handwriting. Okay, we use keyspec next. And what keyspec does is this is where we pass the parameters of the key. So we're going to have keyspec and then new and then PB keyspec. So PB is password-based encryption keyspec. And then we want to generate a secret key. So we use .generate secret and we pass in the factory. So the secret okay. We want to pass in 4 parameters. The first one is the password, basically the private key, the public key, the iteration count, and the length for the key. So the first two are 65536 is the iteration count, 5536, and then 256, that's the characters we want for our password. And then here we're going to have private underscore key dot to get bytes because we want to convert that. One moment, please. One moment, I made a mistake. Keep this right here, but add one more on the left of it, and we're gonna call that's gonna be called the secret key. But instead of get bytes, you want to use to char array. And then after that, we want to have one more, and that's the public key, but we call the before I continue with any of this, I'm going to define some static class members because these are what we need. There's only 2 you need, and they both go, since they both begin with the same part, I'm going to type on 2 lines at once, and they're private because we don't want people to know what they are. Static final string, and then first one is the private key, and that is whatever that is, don't let anyone find out. And then the other one is the public key. I'm going to ES, which is automatic and advanced encryption standard. And then CBC and PK CS5 padding. This isn't always the same. These can vary depending on how you want to initialize the cipher, basically the secret key spec to work. And then after that, we have to, all that we do for the rest of this is create the cipher that actually does the transcription and takes the plain text to the encrypted text. So cipher. Cipher, and then we'll just call it cipher. And then we want to use cipher, and then to create the object we use get instance, same as we did for secret key factory. And then all we need to let it know is the private key, the public key, and give it the IV spec that we created that holds the 16 character byte array. So cipher.encrypt mode, and then we're gonna pass in secret key, and then we're gonna pass in right here IV spec. And then this next line is the second to last one, cipher, and then we just want to initialize it. And then to initialize it, we want to give it cipher.init. Actually, go ahead and copy this part that we had inside here. Copy that into here. And then end that. And then what you actually want to have for this part is This part is actually going to be get instance, and then we're going to actually pass in. So let me just put what we had up here where we did temp.get encoded AES CBC PK CS5 padding. This goes inside for the argument for cipher.get instance. And then, so let me transfer that over. Alright, so that one's done. Secret key spec. Let me look at secret key spec. We actually want to make that temp.get encoded. And then the other parameter we needed was, we only needed one more parameter, and we wanted to say okay, so far that looks so good. The last thing I wanted to include in the program we're working on is, where did I put it? Encryption demo. The last thing you need for this to work is you want to put this inside of a try block. So put a curly brace here and then an ending one right before return. And then you want to have your first catch statement. And the catch statement, all you want to make sure that covers is give me one moment. All right, so I just looked at my actual program, and you actually don't even need a try block. That's all. That's I was looking at another method. This is all you need to do encryption, and I'll test it out right now and see if there's anything wrong. And just let me fix a few mistakes. There were a few errors in the program when I was making it. I'm gonna point them out. This should be new PB key spec, and then there should be nothing in between that and private key. Temp.get encoded needs these two opening and closing parentheses. Don't forget to add one more to the closing one right here for between the argument for do final. And don't forget, think that might be it. And then, all right, I'm back. So the try block, you only need that when you do decrypt. And the last thing we had to do is for get bytes, we want to add this right here. This is where the last class comes in. It says standard carsets.utf underscore 8. I'll give it a try and let you guys know how it runs. Alright, so it looks like everything's good. It looks like the program should run. I haven't run it successfully yet. There's just one more error I have to get rid of, and it is, looks like it's not there anymore, so I'm just going to save and see what happens. Okay. So it looks like string message to encrypt. Welcome to class, have a great day. It's missing a semicolon, it's line 15. If I go to 15, I'll have an A right there. Okay, that would have been an issue. And then, so let me try that one more time. And then it looks like I have missing a parenthesis. Looks like that should be, let me look at where that could go. Cipher, do final, message to encrypt, get bytes. Let me take a look. So, I have an extra one right here. Okay, it should work now. Run. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the actual method instead of trying to hunt down the error. But that's all you really need to know to begin using encryption. This is the actual method right here. And if you're wondering how to decrypt, I'll post another video on that. But basically, you just copy and paste the same thing, and then you just want to change the return, change the cipher initialization here to decrypt, and basically everything else is the same. That's all I have for you guys. Have a good day.